Okay, today is the day where we need to butcher a couple of the male quails because we just have too many, and we don't want that many. I think we have six males and maybe 7 females, but they are becoming a little bit more aggressive because they are 7 or 8 weeks. Normally, I butcher them at like 7 weeks, 6 to 7 weeks. What we have to do right now is I actually have to separate the male quails that I want to butcher, put them in a separate, like a little crate, and then keep them there for a few hours. I really should have separated them last night, so to make sure that they had nothing in their digestive tract, so that when we butcher them, they weren't full of a bunch of food and poop and all of that. So we're gonna separate them now, and then we're gonna probably butcher them later in the afternoon, so probably in like five hours or so. So that should give a good amount of time. But yeah, we're gonna grab the few that we need. I've got this little crate that I actually transport most of my birds in, and it works really, really great because I can open the top and put them in from the top. So we definitely have lots of quail aggression going on right now. I don't know if you can see me, but it doesn't really matter because, again, they've been in here for a while together, and I should have separated them like 2 weeks ago, but I haven't done that. So you might be asking the question, like, how in the world do you know which ones you're going to select, which ones you're going to take? Well, generally, it depends on what I want the next one's offspring to look like. So I want them to be big and, lots of meat, but I don't want the aggression in there. Keep the ones that are big and a little less aggressive. And then I've got one that's a little bit more black, and I'm definitely going to keep him because he's really pretty, and I'd love to have more baby quail, more quail that look like him. Yeah, I might take this guy. I really only want to leave like 2 quail, like 2 males in here. So, oh, another one made it in there. You're a little guy. We'll take you too. Alright. Got our last one. Okay, we got 4 in here, and then we got 2 males. Okay, so we got 4 quail out, left 2 males in there. So now we're gonna wait a few hours, and then we'll come back and we'll butcher the 4 quail that we have, and I'll show you how I do that. Alright, so I've got all the quail in this little crate right here. There's just 4 of them. I've got a bucket here that the heads and the entrails and all of that will fall into. It's just a bucket I found outside. And then I've got a bowl over here where I'm actually going to be putting the quail after I've butchered them and everything. These are actually brand new Cutco scissors, and so yeah, these should work much, much better because those other scissors, we've had them for a while, but these are my mom's, so she was letting me use them for this. Oh, he's a big guy. He's kind of chunky. Make sure your fingers are out of the way so you don't snip your fingers off. Okay, go here and snip. It's flicking blood everywhere. Now that is why you really want to keep the wings next to the body so you're not getting blood all over yourself, but that one was just like a snip and then a little like cut the rest of it off, but it snipped like all the way through. I think I got blood on my face. So first thing I do, I'm gonna cut the wings off. Other wing. There you go. And then you're gonna cut the feet off like right at the knee, the knee joint. Like that. And normally I will like save a lot of this stuff for my dog for treats and stuff, but because I'm only doing a few, I'm not going to really worry about it. So then what you're going to do, sorry, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. So what you're going to do is you're going to take like the skin where it is at the breast or at the neck, and you're going to just peel it open. It rips super easily. So this is where chickens and quail can be way different, is that the skin comes off of quail super easily, whereas with chickens, my GoPro just turned off, that's nice. Whereas with chickens, the skin sticks to it a lot more. So you're peeling You're just gonna peel it all off here. And towards the back, the skin doesn't really come off, so that's not really a problem. If you really want to get that off, I mean, you can kind of pick at it, but just make sure you get all the feathers out. Pull all of those out. And I'm glad I decided to do this in the greenhouse because it is now raining outside. Now all those are okay. You see all those, like, if I can show it a little bit. Man, he's still moving a little bit. Not moving, it's his nerves. But if I can show you. So you have all of these, like, little, like, roots of feathers. I don't really know what to call them. But you can leave those in, or you can sit here and pick at them. But I will just leave them in, and then when we actually go to, like, cook them or anything, then we'll just cut them off. Okay, so next, what you're gonna do, you've got the cloaca right there, which is just like the butt. Cut that whole thing off, like that. So then what you're gonna do is you're gonna go up the back of the quail, like this, and you're just going to cut along one side of the spine, and then cut along the other side, like so. And then you are just gonna pull this whole thing out and pull all of the entrails out with it. So be careful with, like, any of the sacs or anything to not, like the gizzards, don't break that open. You don't want any of that in there. And then the lungs, you can kind of just, like, stick your thumb in them and just kind of pop them out. They'll come out really easily. And then you're just gonna, I just put it in my bowl, and then I'll go and wash it later. That one, that is exactly how you want it to go. One snip and it's off. It's like the best day when you can do it just like that. Some people ask me, how in the world do you have a clean conscience when you do stuff like this? Or like, I don't know how you could do it. I could never do that. But to me, well, if they eat meat, then I'm like, okay, well, what about all the meat that you buy, the chickens that you buy in the grocery store? Those had to be killed. And who knows how they were killed? Who knows how they were raised? For me, I have a more of a clean conscience culling animals when I know that they've been raised humanely. When I know that I gave them a good life. I know they were raised happy. And for me, I'm very grateful to these animals. It kind of just puts it in a different perspective. I have kind of like more of a I guess more of a relationship, a better relationship with my food in this way. When I raise my own animals and when I cull my own animals, because it makes me extremely grateful for what I have and for these animals for giving their lives so that I can continue to live another day being healthy and thriving, because we know that we need animals in order for us to thrive in this world. And so, like, we need to be able to consume animals and animal products for us to be able to thrive in this world, in this life. And so doing this makes me extremely grateful for them, makes me not waste my food at all. Sometimes you go to you buy food and at the grocery store, and then it's like, you throw it in the trash and it doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal. But when you are actually raising the animals yourself, there's a different level to it. All right, well, that is how you cull and butcher a quail. At least that is my method that I have learned from other people. And I've searched up many different ways of culling a quail and butchering a quail, and this was definitely the most humane and the fastest that I have seen. I know that you can pluck the quail in like the same way you would do a chicken. I think they have like pluckers specifically for quail, because the chicken, obviously that one is going to be, all of the little cones sticking out are going to be way too spaced out, and it would be way too rough on a quail. It would just bruise the meat. But I think you can like boil it a little or sear it, I guess, and then pull out all of the feathers. But that's something I've never tried. I think I probably will try that eventually when I have more time to be able to do that, or maybe when I'm butchering a bunch at the same time. But this is definitely super fast method, and trust me, it's not. I might make it look easy and that I don't have a hard time doing it, but it still can be hard sometimes. But it's worth it, and so that's what makes me do it. So, anyways, I'm the Primal Gal. I'm gonna go wash my hands, and we'll see you in the next video.